I state firmly that there has been no negotiation or dialogue with the American side. However, in recent days the American side has begun sending various messages through different intermediaries. Messages being conveyed through our friendly countries, and us responding by stating our positions or issuing the necessary warnings, is not called negotiation or dialogue. It is simply an exchange of messages through our friends.
Has Iran's open show of defiance now sent the US president into an increasingly visible political and diplomatic spiral? Iran's top diplomat rejects any direct talks outright. Yet Donald Trump alleges Tehran is privately begging for a deal. Has a stark no turning back warning now been issued if Iran refuses to accept Washington's terms very soon? Is the US president left red-faced after Iran reportedly rejects his administration's sweeping 15-point peace proposal? Trump appears to be quietly pushing for peace, even as Iran continues pounding American jets and striking Israel. US President Donald Trump appeared frustrated after Iran rejected claims that ceasefire talks are currently underway. Donald Trump posted on Truth Social on March 26 to urge Iranian negotiators to get serious. In a lengthy post, Trump claimed Iran was privately urging America to reach a deal behind closed doors. Trump also said reports that Tehran had rejected the US 15-point peace proposal were incorrect. Trump warned that Iran should get serious quickly or face a point from which there is no return. The US president said, and I quote, "The Iranian negotiators are very different and strange. They are begging us to make a deal, which they should be doing since. They have been militarily obliterated, with zero chance of a comeback, and yet they publicly state that they are only looking at our proposal. Wrong. They better get serious soon, before it is too late, because once that happens, there is no turning back, and it won't be pretty."
We estimated it would take approximately 4 to 6 weeks to achieve our mission, and we're way ahead of schedule. If you look at what we've done in terms of the destruction of that country, I mean, we're way ahead. Think of it, they have no navy, and they had good ships. 154 ships have been shot down and are resting very nicely at the bottom of the sea. And we did that in a matter of less than a week. Because we have the greatest military in the world by far, nobody even close. So we estimated it would take approximately 4 to 6 weeks to achieve our mission. 26 days in, we're really a lot ahead of schedule. The Iranian regime is now admitting to itself that they have been decisively defeated. They're saying to people, this is a disaster. They know it. That's why they're talking to us. They wouldn't talk otherwise. But they're talking to us because they've got a disaster in their hands. They're defeated. They can't make a comeback. We're free to roam over their cities and towns and destroy all of their crazy nuclear weapons and missiles and drones that they're building, and we're doing that. They now have a chance to make a deal, but that's up to them. And they'll tell you, we're not negotiating. We will not negotiate. Of course they're negotiating. They've been obliterated. Who wouldn't negotiate? They are begging to make a deal. We'll see if we can make the right deal. And if they make the right deal, then the strait will open up. Hormuz Strait will open up.
The US president's remarks came after Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi publicly criticized Trump's claims. In a March 25 interview, Abbas Araghchi denied that any negotiation or dialogue was taking place with the United States. Araghchi also said that the exchange of messages through intermediaries does not amount to ceasefire talks. In the same interview, Araghchi said the country would end the war on its own terms. However, the Iranian foreign minister also revealed that Trump's proposal was still under review by Tehran.
No negotiations have taken place so far. I state firmly that there has been no negotiation or dialogue with the American side. However, in recent days the American side has begun sending various messages through different intermediaries. Messages being conveyed through our friendly countries, and us responding by stating our positions or issuing the necessary warnings, is not called negotiation or dialogue. It is simply an exchange of messages through our friends. They have put forward some ideas. I saw in 1 or 2 places that it was described as a 15-point plan, but these were presented as various proposals. All of them have been conveyed to the country's senior authorities, and if it becomes necessary to take a position, that will certainly be decided. For now, our policy is to continue resisting and to continue defending the country. At present we have no intention of negotiating, and no negotiations have taken place.
نداریم تا الان هیچ مذاکره هم صورت نگرفت.
The fact that they are now talking about negotiations is, in itself, an admission of defeat. Were they not demanding unconditional surrender? So why are they now speaking about negotiations? I will explain this further, because there are no negotiations taking place. But the very fact that an enemy that was seeking our unconditional surrender is now talking about negotiations, requesting talks and mobilizing its highest officials to negotiate with the Islamic Republic means accepting defeat. We want the war to end, but on our terms, in a way that ensures it will not be repeated and that our enemies learn a lesson so they will not even contemplate attacking Iran again.
Araghchi alleged that it was Washington, not Tehran, that had sent messages through intermediaries. Washington reportedly sent Tehran a detailed 15-point peace plan through its ally Pakistan.
Pakistan has, ladies and gentlemen, actively engaged with the regional actors to de-escalate the situation, cease hostilities, and move towards a peaceful settlement. Prime Minister of Pakistan, His Excellency Mr. Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif, spearheads our diplomatic efforts for negotiations and dialogue between relevant parties. The Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister, Senator Mohammad Ishaq Dar, has also engaged his counterparts in the region and beyond in this regard.
Trump's peace plan calls on Iran to remove enriched uranium stock and limit its ballistic missile program. However, on March 25th, Iranian media claimed Trump's proposal to end the war had been rejected. Instead, Iran's Mujtaba Khamenei presented 5 demands to the Trump administration for the war to end. First, Iran requires an absolute cessation of hostilities and targeted killings. Second, Iran wants an established operational framework that guarantees military bombardments will never resume. Third, Iran expects assured financial compensation for widespread infrastructure destruction. Fourth, Tehran insists upon a definitive termination of active combat operations involving Israeli forces across both Iranian and Lebanese territories. Finally, the Iranian government must maintain complete jurisdictional control over the Strait of Hormuz. Meanwhile, Iran continued retaliatory operations against Israel and American military assets. On March 25th, Iran claimed it had shot down an advanced American F-18 fighter jet during a combat mission.
Meanwhile, an American F-18 aircraft was also hit in the general area of Chabahar by the new air defense system of the Navy of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps under the guidance of the country's integrated air defense network. In the past 24 hours, the valiant forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran, continuing their operational measures, targeted a gathering place of American forces and separatist groups supported by the American Zionist regime in Erbil, using missiles. The targets were located near Erbil Airport, one of the important support and command centers for American forces and the headquarters of separatist groups, where a wide range of military equipment and systems are located. Furthermore, the Navy of the Army changed the position of the aforementioned carrier group by firing Gatto cruise missiles from the coast towards the Abraham Lincoln Naval Group. The initiative and power of the armed forces, supported by the people, is in the hands of Iran, and massive financial and human losses in the occupied territories and American bases in the region cannot be concealed by new censorship.